Okay, so we are back for episode 2 of the podcast now, and we've got a bit of a different cast for this week's podcast. So we've got Beats, we've got
Hi.
the Lays J, we've got Death Gun, and then we've got Gotcha Death, and then we got Section. So these are the 4 people right now with me, obviously.
The goats.
Yep, on God,
Let's go.
and we're just
Uh,
gonna be going over a certain amount of topics. So if you guys want to check the timestamps, then you guys are going to be more than good to do that. So, I mean, that's basically it for the introduction, really. You guys seem to like the last one, and we might do the next one streamed, so probably will. But this one's just going to be a premiere. So, yeah, I mean, why don't we just head right into it, okay? So, how have you guys been with Black Clover over the past, like, 2-3 weeks? And do you think the meta with the new units has been fun, mainly, like, Season 4 and then Black Asta? So we'll start with Beats since he's top left for me, and then go down from there.
Uh, I've actually really enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I think because I got the red right, and by far like
Okay.
mono red
Mm-hmm.
actually just too fun. Like it's
Yeah,
actually so
I
fun.
agree.
I'm so glad no one's clocked onto it yet, and I'm never gonna verse it ever again. Like I versed it once, never doing it again. But I mean he was good. You can kind of use him at 1 star. Charmy, a bit to invest in too, but then the woe as well was just like the fact you can get the 2 stars is like perfect.
Agreed.
I
Yeah.
mean, obviously you want to get the skill page as well, right? But like it was like nice to not have to invest into too much before obviously Black Asta, which like you have to invest a lot into. And yeah, Black Asta has been so fun. I mean, PvP is like you can survive without having an emotional shield now. That's how it felt to me, at least. And in especially PvE, that was like the fun part. Like I've done like 3 videos in it now. And yeah, just clearing through like what was like originally hard content is now easier. Like, what was it, floor 85?
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
soloing
Very
Asta.
true. Very true.
Yeah, peak content, peak
Yeah.
content.
But what you said
I
about
just
Yuno is
wish
true. I have like a top 10 like JP player who has his Yuno at 0 dupes, 0 nothing, and just uses him easily, right?
Yeah, bro, it's like he starts first, like just to counter everyone. It's insane.
Yep. It's so good, especially because he doesn't even need that high speed because obviously he gets the 100 mobility right away. It just works out so well. And the thing is, when you put him, like, for example, I was using on my whale accounts team, my whale friend, like, I don't know how much he spent, but like a bit too much, let's say. Max Stoop with Charmy and Fuego, right? With their skill pages, Max Stoop. So how it works is that if you get lucky and Fuego doesn't get hit turn 1 and you survive for Fuego's ult, then that's GG, right? Because Charmy pops, and at Dupe 2, the pop applies 2 burns on everyone, and then Fuego does a bunch of damage. And what's funny is that I didn't even realize I had the wrong gear set on Fuego, and he was still killing.
That's crazy.
I was like, oh my
Yeah.
god. It's gonna be even crazier when we get Gear Transcendence, because then it just starts scaling way higher, right? And it becomes scary. Like 1 million damage is low damage for Fuego after Transcendence, especially with Mary Leona. It's insane.
You think we'll get that soon on Global?
Personally, yeah, because you gotta think we're about to get Charlotte, which is the increase in damage reduction. Once we hit that, there's no coming back. No, there's
How
no
old is
way.
Global now?
Global, almost 3 months. We're getting to 3 months in 12 days. So there's that.
Because I thought they were gonna wait till like the 6 month celebration, but that might be a bit too long now.
It would be good if we got the same pacing, but 90% damage reduction. What is Julius doing without Gear Transcendence? Nothing. So that's like the main thing as of right now. I don't know. I feel like we might get it earlier, but it would be a bit risky doing that because people are like kind of being very negative towards the game right now.
Yeah,
Which
I've
we'll
seen
talk
a
about
lot.
later. But now going on, Blaze J, what do you think currently of like the meta for
All right,
everything?
so I'm like in top 50, top 100 right now
Yeah.
on Global, and like every team has Asta.
Mm-hmm.
Every team. So basically, the way you play is just you want to leave him last
Yeah.
the whole
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yup.
So I'm running what, Julius, William, Charlotte, Asta, which I mean I find it pretty good because you just want to basically kill the other team's Julius,
Yep.
and that's how it goes from there. Because Asta, if you can deal with him right if you leave him till the end. Because if you get his anti-magic early, you're gonna have a really, really hard time.
Yeah, it was very funny. I played a game yesterday for my like Black Asta video, and they comboed into Black Asta with Julius frame 1 with
Oh
William
yeah,
Julius
yeah.
combo, and then he activated anti-magic and was basically GG, right? Because I had my anti-magic up. But yeah, no, that team is very good, but it is, I have to agree, it is very easy to kind of just work your way around Black Asta until you get to him, because
Yeah.
I mean, they will be more tanky. Like the units will be more tanky because Asta, if you don't get rid of his like defensive form right away, he's gonna put on his defense, total defense. Everyone's gonna have debuff block, right? Because if you have that talent, everyone's gonna have damage reduction. Noelle's gonna be just shooting out lower magic attack, lower damage, right? So it does get very annoying. But people they have not played Black Asta when Charlotte is out because that becomes even worse, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you start to get those barriers running out on everyone. And let's say Julius dies, then the barriers start going on Asta. He's unkillable, right? It's going to be scary. But I think, honestly, just to kind of like say, do you guys think that overall on global so far the meta has been a bit repetitive? Or no? For defense. Not attack.
Yeah.
I feel like attack you could use
It
a
is,
lot.
it is heading in a stale direction.
Yeah, I think it has.
Same as Korean and with like all the damage reduction and all the tanky units. Unless we get like major DPS buffs, we are headed to a very, very stale and slow meta,
Yeah.
which I don't really enjoy.
I agree. Especially when, at least on JP, right, which we are heading towards. But to be
Yeah.
fair, they spaced it out a bit better on global, but it's still going to be the same outcome. 3 out of 6 of the
Yeah.
last units have been defenders, and I think 2 out of 6
Yeah.
have been attackers, and both attackers have been dog. So There's
Yeah, I
that.
feel like it's worse on global because everyone builds their characters defensively.
why it's worse on global
Yes.
is because of the fact we don't have Transcendence. That's the one of the main reasons, alongside because of building it more defensively, which I didn't really understand, but it does make kind of sense because you want to survive. But if you give them defense, right, they will no matter what survive. But the reason why on JP it's really like insane that we got the Transcendence is because before it was a completely different meta. Not many units could really be one shot, especially because you would stack so many defensive buffs. But now with that Transcendence, the DPSs increase their attack, but not their defense. So no matter what, even Charmy with like a low ass attack multiplier of 150% on her ult is one tapping whoever I hit on JP, and it's like, okay, I didn't know this could happen, and I mean it's just insane, right? So
Sometimes a combo skill with William on my
Yeah.
global doesn't even one shot like their Julius because of how defensive they're built. But if you get Transcendence, it's gonna be over no matter how defensive you are. You're just gonna
Yep.
get one shot.
until
like
they
a
bring
magic attack set.
until they bring a unit who gives damage reduction, total
Yeah,
defense up, and also res up, then that's
Oh my God.
oof. So let me know, Gotcha Death, what you think of the meta.
Okay, so season 4 units were pretty good. I do think they changed the meta a lot when it came to PvP. Noelle is really good.
Yeah,
You
I
only
agree.
really need 2 dupes, like you guys were saying, which is really nice. Charmy is really nice as well. She sets up for future units. Like you said, Fuego is going to be really nice with her. And when it comes to Black Asta, he's everywhere, and he was really good for both PvP and PvE.
Yeah, that's the
made
great part. He could be used in
Yeah.
a lot of stuff in PvE.
Yeah, he made clearing everything on my free-to-play account extremely easy. I went up from floor like 75 to like 90 something with Black Asta without any problem whatsoever. And PvP, he's just everywhere. But like you guys were saying, he's still very easy to counter.
Yeah.
Things might change when Witch Queen comes out, but so far he's still pretty easy to
Yeah,
counter.
to
in
explain
my
with
opinion.
Witch Queen why it's insane is that Witch Queen does put him at 30% HP, which might sound bad, right? Because you think you would be able to just kill him after that, which if they're not on mono red, sure, you can easily kill Black Asta before he uses his big attack in anti-magic form. But the problem is on a mono red team, she gives him immortality, okay? So he falls at that 30% range, he has the immortality, he can't die, he cannot be
just
stunned
max
if he's
him.
max duped. So until he attacks, he has stun block, he just can't die, and he's in his anti-magic range, so he gets one guaranteed hidden, then he's healed back up to 100%, and then he becomes more tanky, which is why it's really good. Now, some people might be saying, well, why do they put him at like 30% instead of 40%? Well, it's because if you put him at like 40% or even 35 and activate the anti-magic, and then he attacks and he heals back up, he still has the immortality when he gets anti-magic again. So I was thinking about that last night. I'm like, wait, If they made it so that it wasn't at 30%, which procs the immortality from Witch Queen's passive, then he would have been too busted. Because no matter what, he gets one guaranteed hit in. And let's say he doesn't get hit and put into immortality range, then he would have, no matter what, had the immortality again. So, I mean, they decided to make it good, but not like insanely busted, but guaranteeing that he did get one hit in because he can't be stunned at max dupe and he has the immortality. But in global, yeah, I think he is like easy to work around, but he does make the team a lot better.
Yeah,
A lot
I
better.
agree.
Especially, have you guys been using the resilience talent, the one that gives the debuff block? When you have
Yes.
the
Yeah.
when you block, right?
Oh yeah. I think everyone should have
That was
that.
insane
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
Because I feel like I've been seeing it a lot more, right? Since Black Asta. Obviously, there was like an argument to be made to use it with Charlotte, but Charlotte's total defense is only 1 turn, where 2 turns is way better.
Yeah, I hardly
Way
noticed it
better.
before.
Yeah. It's very annoying because sometimes it's like, oh, I'm going to target this person to lower them with Julius, the mobility. And then it's like, oh, I can't. They have debuff block because of Asta, which people don't really seem to understand. So I just want to like get your thoughts. Where would you, at this moment, do you think he's like top 5 range? Do you think he's like really game changing, or do you just think he's like a good support at the moment?
I
I'd
would
say
say,
top 5.
Mm-hmm.
Or
yeah,
like
he's definitely top
5
five.
easily.
Yeah.
probably.
for sure.
I think arguably he could be the #1 character in the game.
Yeah, I'm saying like top 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Is it
Asta
just
has a
does too much?
clutch factor in the team. Like you can just leave him till the end, and he can
Yeah.
one-shot your entire team. So
Yeah.
I think just that makes him alone like top
He
5
is
easily.
always there waiting, right? Like it's scary if he's there on a team and you know that he has a max dupe skill page, especially. You have to play very carefully. But because it's bots, it's very different. If it was
Yeah.
actual real time, then it would be a lot scarier to have Black
He's gonna
Asta.
be even more busted.
Which is very unfortunate because Black Asta will never see his reign in real time PvP. There's just, I don't see real time coming out anytime soon, so it is very unfortunate. But just to wrap up a bit,
I
section,
mean-
do you have anything left to say on in terms of the meta recently?
Not really. I just hate the direction that we're headed in. I think we are headed into the same stale, slow, the same meta that takes a lot of turns. It's just not fun in my opinion. I personally love explosive speed teams. I love just stacking up a bunch of stacks, a bunch of buffs on my Julius, and
Yeah.
then nuking out the entire team with my skill.
So I have a good amount of thoughts on this. First of all, I think cleave teams are only something that people like because of how boring PvP is, if we're being honest. People want to get out of arena as soon as possible because
Yeah.
there's no point to really play in arena, right? So I think that if the meta was a bit
Yeah,
better,
exactly.
or just PvP had like some certain type of mechanics instead of, oh, after 50 turns, well, I mean, whoever has more HP left, well, they're gonna win because we're gonna start taking HP away every second. It becomes
Oh yeah, for sure.
to a point where we want to get out of PvP as quick as we can, if possible. And I agree, I love cleave teams too because I could get out of arena quick. But in general, if the meta is in a good state, which it's been in some points, I don't really like cleave teams because it's just annoying, right? It is annoying to kind of play against. And we saw it with the event arena on global, where it was just cleave teams, right? And that was a bad time. That was a
That was
bad
full on.
Yes.
time. I don't
It's
think
just
anyone liked
50-50
it.
whether you're going first or he's going first.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
think
anyone
that's why
liked
people
it.
built their team defensively because of that
Yeah.
in global.
Maybe.
I think that it's just because there was I don't know. It's just I've seen a lot of whales, including my whale friend's account, be just have a lot of like tanky units. But I think it does have in part to do with just higher CC because they want to have as high CC as possible. Because CC, especially because of how much
Yeah.
money they're pouring into this game, they want the status of like as much CC, so they're pushing it like on their Noelle, having that. But I think just in general, it does work a bit. But I haven't really asked some of like the top players why they use it exactly. I think that it's just a bit hard for me to understand both.
Bragging right?
Maybe it's just hard to understand both the JP and global meta because they're so different, right? Not even just in units, but because of that gear transcendence, people need to understand how big of a change it is, right? It's insane. It really is. Because
Yeah.
just being able to go from like
I think
taking
we
no
need
damage
it.
to one tapping and
I
then
think we
tanks.
desperately need it on global.
I agree too, because like when Charlotte creeps up, people will not understand how much of an impact that's actually gonna
I
have.
think we need it before Charlotte drops.
Yeah, probably.
Otherwise, no one is gonna have any single.
Then you
Or
give me some
PvP
box
is
space
just not gonna be
first.
fun at all.
they do need to give box space. They do need to give box space because holy shit.
Oh yeah, bro.
I'm spending
struggling over
12,000
here.
crystals for
Yeah.
like 200.
By the way, do we know what the event arena is forbidding? Oh, okay. So no healers and support.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Okay, so that means Noelle and Asta are just gonna reign on top. No supports, no
mono
William.
red.
Okay, well you're just
Basically, run mono red.
GG. That's game. Yeah, mono red's actually gonna be insane. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think no supports and healers just makes it catered so much towards pay to win players. It's insane. Because supports are like the only thing that really let I think a lot of free to plays go up, but straight up DPS, you can't contest. You just can't. Well, that's gonna be kind of unfortunate. Okay. Well, how'd you guys like the first event arena? Because
It was okay. The first one, it was
Good
just
concept, just
Voltos
a bad execution.
and
now,
or just speed units, right?
Yeah.
Really.
what do
Just
you
try
guys
to
think
win.
of the event arena now that it's gonna take like 3 times as long to do your daily runs?
Oh boy.
I
Yeah,
hate it.
I'm not gonna have fun, but
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do it.
Yeah,
To
I
get the
mean, at
reward.
least this
I
one
don't know.
it's only William, which means that free to plays are the ones that are gonna have to grind a lot because they're gonna want to get their William.
It's at least something I get to do in the game.
Yeah.
Because you usually
Yes.
don't do anything in the game. You just do your dailies and dip.
That is true. That is true. But
So-
I don't know. I feel that the event arena is just there to like stall. I don't know. I'm just hoping we get different things. But now we're completely caught up on the JP content, so I don't know what they're gonna do besides characters.
That is scary.
Yeah.
That is very scary.
Um,
Like insanely scary. Like we haven't seen new content on JP for so long. I mean, what the new
Hall of
raid with
Illusions.
the
That's all we were missing.
selected people?
The only we might I think season 5 is probably going to be Hall of Illusions, and then season 6, hopefully there's something in time. That's my guess. If they don't bring Hall of Illusions in season 5 is going to be dead. To be fair, it's only a 20-day season, but I think that considering at least this season, it's pretty good, right? We have the Guild Wars, the actual guild PvP. We've got Event Arena and we've got Raid coming up in the next 12 days. So I think that's fine. Do you guys think that's fine? Because personally, I'm like, that's good, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's not bad.
good
In
amount
terms of
stuff.
content, it's good.
Yeah. And I also like, it's so funny, right? Because at the beginning, the first 2 weeks, spaced out horribly. There's nothing. But then in the last 2 weeks, they space it out. Okay, there's going to be 2 things this week and then 1 thing next week so that at least they have stuff to do. So to me, the way they're doing it is very much just planning beginning of the season is characters as content, then later in the season is actual gameplay as content, right? That's like how it seems to me, which I think for 30-day seasons is not the way to go because that's still 2 weeks of no content. It's been 2
Yeah.
weeks since we haven't had anything besides obviously people just spamming Black Asta. But I've seen a lot of people just saying that the Black Asta hype is kind of like faded away for them a bit. So very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
Was there any hype to begin with?
Oh yeah, a lot of people were hyped with
Yeah.
Black Asta.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Obviously,
they-
I don't think we were hyped. I mean, if you guys like got to death, I feel you didn't. Have you played JP? Or
I have not played JP.
okay, so I guess you were pretty hyped because that was like your
Yeah.
first time
And
using
maybe
Black
that's
Asta,
why.
first time experiencing him. Which honestly, in that case, fair enough. But I mean, in my case and Blaze J, you could let me know. And Section 2, I don't really think I was that hyped. I was more hyped for the fact that people were gonna be hyped. I find
You're
that
not.
when like the viewers are hyped, for me it kind of like increases my hype a good amount.
Yeah.
I was hyped up because more people are getting into the game.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Meaning more like, yeah, the game is getting more alive, the community expanding and stuff like that. But
It's just people are like,
Yeah.
oh, what do I really do now? I have Black Asta, but what do I use him in, right? So kind of unfortunate situation because, I mean, Kabuki talked about this. We might need to get Kabuki on here because I feel like he'd be very funny to have a conversation with about shitting on Black Clover. That would be so fun. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I watched this video on the rant, and I mean, you know, he was just talking basically about how you got Black Asta and there's nothing. For like a festival, there's really nothing. But that's just the way they've constructed it, and kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. It really does.
Yeah, they need to do more stuff. Like, well,
Yeah.
they had no event to put him in, just except for PvP.
Yeah, it is quite unfortunate. But
You had nowhere to use him except PvP.
No.
And maybe the couple of Hall of Illusions stages that you didn't do.
yeah, I just
Yeah, I was about
decided
to
to
say-
show it. Go on.
Like the best part for me was clearing through like 80, 85 and like 90 and stuff. But if you've already done that, ain't really doing too much,
Yeah.
is he?
Nope.
Yeah.
That's the thing. 'Cause a lot of
Exactly.
it's
How
not
are
like
you
it was
gonna
hard
load?
stages, right? Besides 85, which you just needed a very, very like
RNG.
substat heavy Raya. 90 you could clear pretty easily. 95 you run the most free to play team including Julius, right? Julius is the only thing that's really needed. And then you got Yuno, Mars, and Lotus. Then you're done. And those are 3 units that everyone has because Yuno was free. Then you got Lotus and Mars probably from the 2 selections. So you just needed Julius. So 95 was free. Then 100 you needed a burn unit, and then you were chill, right? So it was not really hard units as long as you had Julius. But for people who are new, Black Asta is very helpful. But it's not like he's helping clear new content. It's not like there is new content. So it is quite unfortunate for that, right? Because, I mean, I'm just thinking of other games like that are PvP focused. I mean, especially Grand Cross. It's very fun, like testing out the new units in PvP. But they also Beats, right? They do have a lot of like decent enough like PvE content, right? Am I tripping? Because it's been a while
They
since
got a
I played.
lot.
Yeah, it's the modded beast and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's what Mason does, right? Like he does all like the
Yeah.
guild bosses and because you can do, bro. If we had something like that, you can do like you can make your whole channel based of just doing the modded beast.
Yeah.
That's true. Which it sucks because the only content we got is really the raids, which we only do for the rewards because it kind of the gameplay itself is not really that good. And
just
I
put an
personally I hate how they structure it, where they want you to clear it every day, and it's been like repetitive for the same like 7 months on JP. It's just you're seeing the same animations of the golem boss that you've seen for the past 9 seasons, right? Doing the same attacks, right? So now they have changed it, right? But I don't know. It's the fact for me how
Well, yeah.
how they structure the limited time challenges feels wrong because they require you to play every day to get the maximum amount of rewards, but you're just clearing the same boss every day without it changing much. Because why would you put more time into it if there's not a purpose to, besides for something like world boss, right? World boss is the only thing that you really every day you want to like try and get better at. Personally, I like world boss a lot. That's the only boss to this day I still enjoy playing, but I do not enjoy playing any of the normal raids. So
The thing about limited challenge is so annoying, especially with Spire of Honor.
oh
Yet
bro,
it's only at 3 attempts a day, and I make a video of Spire of Honor each season. I have to wait like 5 days just to post it when I have all the stages done and people are already finished. I hate that so much. Like I feel like Spire of Honor you can just drop like I don't know 5 attempts a day,
just
or
let you
just
clear
do the
day
whole
one.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Personally, do you think that the limited like the structure is it fine, or like would you like it to be changed and how? So let's start with that. Just kind of think of how you would change it. Beats, do you have anything? If not, we'll start with Blaze J.
Probably coming from Grand Cross,
Yeah.
I think just do it all in one day, right? Because it's so similar
Yeah.
towards Tower Trials. It's just obviously a bit more free to play because you're given like all the levels, which to be fair, it's quite fun. Like I got what was it Jack, the green one, the score one for season 3. Obviously, I'm not investing into him, right? It's a crazy thing to do, but having him 5-star with his skill page 5-star in that event was actually quite
True,
fun.
like the
it's
two
really fun.
stacks. You get to use
Yeah,
it
you
like
could
500%
you
right
could still
away.
make content on it, but like by like the 5th day, it's like who cares no more, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's really I feel like it was just a boring way to do it. If they dropped it right away, just you get to first of all you make a free video because people aren't done it yet, and second of all you just get more days of actually trying out a bunch of different units. And if there's no cap to how much Spire of Honor you could do, you could go max level, try out a bunch of different units max dupe that you don't have max dupe, which personally I think is great. And it's funny that you mentioned Jack because that's the only unit I showcased in Spire of Honor max dupe. I don't know. It's just I remember. Okay, my Jack isn't max dupe on JP. This is it was in season 4, so it's like 5 months ago at this point. And I was like, okay, new content, max dupe Jack. Let me try him out. and I mean it's pretty fun. I Max Dupe Jack is honestly pretty fun. He's a mid unit, but at least he is decently fun. So there was that. But not for me, honestly. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I could not get through Spire of Honor. It was too boring, especially just because of how long those matches are. It just feels like PvP for different rewards. I don't know.
And the rewards aren't even that great.
Yeah.
Like you can easily
I think-
farm them up in like the dungeons.
Yeah, that's fair. At
I
least it is
think
plus
the
2.
Fire of Honor should be the event PvP.
Like
With
they
like
structure it.
at
Okay.
least the system, yeah, the structure where everyone is equal.
Yeah.
With the dupes and the
That-
levels. I think that's how
honestly-
it should be.
You're right. You're right. You're right on that.
Yeah, them if they did that for event PvP, that would be way better.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, that
I
would
would
be better than, like,
honestly-
just straight up banning healers
Low
and
key,
high
what they
character
should
types.
do, what they should do for Event Arena, is let everyone use every unit in the game, and either scale them at 0 dupes or max dupe, and then make it completely fair. I think to me, that would go hard.
That would be hype.
And what's
Yeah, that
good
would be
about
lit.
that?
Hype.
What's good about that too?
I would grind
is-
that all day.
You gotta like. It's not even okay. You get to use those units, right? But for people who don't have certain units, it's like shit. I want this unit so bad. He's so fun, or maybe it makes them skip a unit, which maybe it's not really what they want. But in general, you're gonna be able to try out much more units, which is gonna entice people to like try and spend more for certain units if they did like that unit that they did not get as like a light spender or a like free to play. And if they max dupe it and shit, that's even better for them because there's no way a bunch of these light spenders have the max dupe. So now they get to try out a bunch of different units. Julius, max res, right? 100% res. Jack with his insane stuff. Charmy, 109 speed, getting the burns, right? Fuego going crazy with his skill page. Stuff like that. Being able to get his ult back every 2 turns with max dupe, max skill page, right? It would be crazy. I honestly think they should do that for Event Arena. Because they just like restructured it a bit where it's like, oh, well, if you're really not built up with certain units and certain roles, well, you're cucked for this one, but you should still be able to get the rewards. Come on, why can't you get it? You don't have these units built up, just build them up, spend. It feels kind of scummy how they do the Event Arena. It's boring. So if they would do it to where everyone was like equal and you had every unit in the game, that would be fun. That would be pretty fun. At that point, it would make sense to me.
I would, instead of having like every unit in the game, I think it should still just be the units you have. I feel like that's a stretch, in my opinion, having every unit in the game. Because it's like,
Maybe the newish characters. Maybe have like a trial section where you just use up the new characters, like the new seasonals and the new featured.
yeah, I guess, yeah, that would work
To
too.
me, I feel that it's just
I mean, it could be
if it is only the units you have, then it would have to be completely scaled equally. So everything's either scaled up or scaled down, either 0 dupes or max dupe, right?
Hey, that's the main point.
Then that would be great. But I feel that just obviously it is a stretch, but I'm just saying, relatively speaking, if you were able to try at least like 5 units in Event Arena, let's say maybe 1 unit a day you get to trial for like the whole day, right? You get to use it for all your 10 Event Arena runs. Then that's great because it's not affecting all your outside gameplay. It's not affecting your PvE. It's not affecting your actual arena runs. It's strictly affecting that Event Arena, and everyone would be able to be on the same playing field for that. I feel that the more equal they make Event Arena, the better, right? Because Wales, it's a 1 week event, right? The Wales, I don't know if they would really complain because it's
No,
1
I
week.
don't think
It's 1 week of you getting those ranks, and sure, it is extra rewards when you're really high up. I think the rewards for the summer Event Arena was insanely good.
Yeah, I almost maxed him because of it, which was
Yeah.
dope.
I mean, the skill page was not that crazy, but I mean, if they could continue doing this in the future, if they could, maybe do this with William and Mimosa, maybe would be great, honestly. Do you think those units would sell? Because, I mean, design-wise, William and Mimosa, the Season 9,
They look good. They look good.
they look very
but-
trippy.
They're not good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, summer
Perfectly
units
said.
also look good.
Perfectly said. It's so sad. I mean, hey, Vanessa, Season 5, we'll be there. I know Section, you will be there.
Yeah.
I've been waiting there. I've been waiting since the launch. Where's my Vanessa, man?
Now, Vanessa being released now kind of is telling me that Transcendence is coming. Because Vanessa just was so much. She was buffed so heavily when Transcendence came out because of how the game worked, right? When Transcendence came out, DPSs were being one tapped. What does Vanessa stop? DPSs from even being touched. So that's exactly why Vanessa is going to be very important. So to me, Transcendence is coming out in season 6. But like, when do you guys think, just randomly, when do you think Transcendence is coming out? When do you think it's good, or when do you think they should come out? We'll start with Beats.
I'm not sure. Like I said, I thought it would be the 6 month, but yeah, I realized we're only 3 months in now. We still have to have that celebration, right? With Julius returning, also
Yeah.
the 999 banner. So I imagine we run out of time. So like, what's like the next big celebration?
100 day.
Like, yeah,
100 day would
yeah,
be,
exactly. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
It would be
then,
about
yeah.
March 10th. So like in 3 weeks from now. We're 3 weeks off from like the 100 day.
Yeah, because you got to fit into celebration. You can't just release the 999 banner with Julius
Nah.
like a random week. It's got to be like, hey, we made it to a milestone. Once again, I think Grand Cross did that for Demon Melee. Not that there's any correlation, but like
No, it's fine.
people they do love to celebrate the 100-day celebrations.
Yeah, JP did it. We got like I think 5 to 10 free multis from that, and we also did. I think Blaze, was that the first time we got free gear slots, or was that during the Half-Anni? I don't remember.
It was during the like right before Asta dropped. So
Okay,
probably,
okay, never mind. But the 100 day, like Blaze could confirm, it was pretty good in terms of rewards. We got like 3 free code multis. We got some more from login, right? It was pretty insane. But yeah, Blaze, when do you think they'll end up dropping gear, or when do you think it's good? When do you think it's good?
Probably when Charlotte drops. I think that's when they drop Gear Transcendence.
Because you're saying in 12 days they're dropping Gear Transcendence?
Yeah, I think so.
Interesting. Gotcha Death, how about you?
I would want to see it in season 5 personally.
Okay.
But I don't think it's coming out until the 100-day celebration as well.
Yeah. I mean, 100-day celebration is season 5. So just to say,
okay.
We're getting season 5. How many days are left? I don't really remember, if I'm being honest. I think it's season 5 is like on the 6th about, I think. It's like either 5th or 6th in that week. So we'd be getting it about a week into season 5. Like, technically speaking, the 100 day, if they do celebrate it, is about a week into season 5. But season 5, realistically speaking, unless they're dropping Mario in season 5, is going to be a 20-day season. Just going off the pattern so far. So there's that. Now, Section, anything, do you think it would be season 5 too, or do you think that, what do you think?
I think we desperately need it when Charlotte comes, but
Okay.
I also think I don't know if global is ready for it. I don't know if the global like player base is ready to dupe 12 identical LR pieces into one.
Yeah, so this brings me to my next point. Do you guys
One of the
think
biggest hurdles. Yeah.
do you think people will be happy with Gear Transcendence?
No.
They will. You know
No.
why?
Why?
Because if they give the 100 free LR chests,
True.
they're just gonna forget about it.
True.
Yes.
Oh, I
They're just
forgot
forget
about that.
it and like
Okay.
Y'all
If they do
remember that
then
day?
sure.
Do you guys remember that day when they dropped it on
Yeah.
JP and everyone was bitching?
People were losing their
Everyone.
mind.
Yeah.
Holy
But as soon as
shit.
those chests dropped, ooh.
Yep, that's true. Okay. Yeah, if they don't do that, then they're cooked. But yeah, no.
I think they need to at least up the rates. Like at least give us the promised rate up of the LR gear. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like the drops are just horrendous.
And more room for LR gear, for gear overall.
Yeah, which
Yeah, for sure. We need
Gotcha
that
Death.
item.
What's very funny about that is that on JP, to this point, in 2 events, kind of like the gift event that we have currently going, and those types of events, they've given about almost 400 slots extra for gear or skill pages that we could have gotten for free. So
Oh man.
yeah, Global needs to get that soon.
Yes, we really do.
Because it's really just making people artificially spend a bit more in the worst way possible. That leaves a bad taste in anyone's mouth. Even, I'm sure, like, no whale wants to spend, like, 5,000 crystals just to get an extra, like, 100 slots, right? Or 200 slots. I don't know what the ratio, but it just sucks, right? It really does suck. So, yeah, personally, as for Gear Transcendence, my guess is either season 5 or 6. Now, that would line up decently well with with JP, because they got it in season 6, right? No, season 7. Sorry, season 7. And because we're going more fast paced, it does seem that that's going to be the case. Now, is the 100-day going to be hype? Okay, first of all, just to say, let's say for right now, Mario Leona should not. We'll keep it at that. Okay, we're going to keep it at this. I'm not going to say anymore, but Mario Leona should not be coming out for the 100-day, which makes it very confusing as to what exactly is going to be happening and if it is going to be a celebration. But it should be, because they should like just kind of force as many celebrations as they can out, because that's free stuff for them, like free marketing, right? 100 days, come back, you know, like get a SSR selector, I don't know, free rewards, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. But yeah, Gear Transcendence is going to be a bit
Also,
scary.
I don't think Gear Transcendence as it is like good for the game. It is, in my opinion, way too expensive to come to global. With like the cost of the gold cost on
Does
that
it?
is just
Hold on.
absolutely ridiculous.
Let me check if it's actually expensive to transcend. Hold on. Let me
Cost
see
like
for
500k.
It's like a million gold.
Oh yeah, no, that's a bit much.
Yeah,
So let's say
million
for
or
one
something.
piece. Okay, right now I'm
Yeah,
checking.
it costs too much.
It is 1 million. It is 1 million. Now, okay, I will agree with that. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that.
just absurd.
Oh, I'm just thinking. Oh, I really hope 125 doesn't come till like at least first anniversary. But I'm stocking up pretty well. Okay, I've got 12,000 gold, 5,000 red, and 1,200 purple. So
12,000 gold.
gold
Oh,
XP.
What?
EXP. Okay, EXP.
Gold
You can
XP.
reach that high?
Bro, I've been grinding. Like, there's been no reason for me to really level up units, especially if they drop fests. So, yeah. And I've reached 40 million gold on JP, which is huge because of how much gold you need now. It's insane. So yeah, no.
Yeah,
The
I think
gold
the
problem
gold
is gonna be big.
requirement.
It's gonna be big.
Yeah.
Very bad for people.
They need to at least just give us the increased gold drop from the XP levels.
Yeah.
With gold,
For people
with
who don't
Transcendence,
know, I
with Gear
mean,
Transcendence.
on JP, they increased the gold you get from the XP stages from about like 9,000 to 25,000. So almost a 3 times increase in the amount of gold per XP stage. It's insane. It's really good, right? It's just insane. I think I got like 7.5 million gold in 150 runs when the gold was boosted. 7.5 million in just 150 was
That's insane.
it was really good. It was really good. So now we'll get on to our next point, since we have been just kind of talking about some other topics. Okay, this I think section has some things to say. We'll start with the promotion, and then we're gonna go into the scummy event summon system or event thing that they did for season 4, which I don't think anyone really liked. So starting off, for promotion. Okay, Beats. Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that soon. So for promotion, they actually did better with Black Asta. I think that we're starting to get a bit better. Instead of just 2 days before promotion, starting to be 3, 4, 5, right? Same thing with Verun Gulduri. They started 5 days before.
With the teas.
So I think that's good, right? I think that promotion is good, but I need to hear some thoughts on this. Do you think the promotion really changes a lot, especially for units like Black Asta, Mario Leona, Witch Queen, Hatred
It's not
Fauna?
enough.
No?
I'll start. I think before, it doesn't matter too much, I think, comparable to afterwards. I don't know if you lot got it, but I've actually gotten quite a lot of Black Clover ads like on my phone.
Okay.
So I think the whole point is to get new players in, right? Like a lot of the Black Clover players already know Asta's coming, so tweet about it. No really cares too much, but it is nice to obviously see it and have the confirmation, because not everyone follows leaks.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 days before I think is fine, but I think what's definitely more important is that afterwards, like people seeing Black Asta and coming back to it. Once again, coming back to other games, people like to come back during big celebrations.
That's
They're
fair.
not going to see the lead
Now,
up to it. So
let me
yeah,
ask you a question in regarding the summon event that we had for the 300 pulls. They teased Black Asta after people summoned, seeing that's like event.
Yeah, so I'm not like
in this case. Do you think they should have shown Black Asta at the same time as Noelle, or do you think it was fine waiting? In this case, because you got to consider, people did not know. A lot of people didn't see Black Asta.
I know it is bad, but like I don't think it's that bad, right? I think the way I look at it, because the way I saw it was, we know that Black Asta's coming, so if you're gonna summon now, here's some free rewards. That's kind of the way I saw it. But I can agree that is like, you know, a bit scummy, but I don't think it's that bad.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Some people were so stupid and didn't even know that it was ending before Black Asta came out. I I don't know how, because it lasted 6 days, but people were like, "What? It ends before?" Oh, it was so funny. I think some people missed out, but honestly, for me, I think it was pretty good. The event itself, taking out that little kind of a scummy part of it, of not really talking about Black Asta until the event was done. Well, actually, they did talk about it like 3 days in, because Black Asta obviously, the event itself ended when Black Asta came out, so there was some build up before the event ended. But it was nice. Some people got William for free, some people got Raya for free that they didn't have, and it was only 120 pulls to get that part. So I think it was pretty fair for people who had like 400 pulls in the bank to do those summons, and it was a very good bonus because you were still summoning on a good banner, right? Noelle
Yeah, that's the thing,
was
right?
not
It
a
was a
bad
good
banner
banner.
by any means. It was a good
Yeah.
banner. Charmy's good. Noelle's good. If you get Charmy skill pages duped up very high, that's good. Noelle's skill pages it's just the best in the game. So it was a good banner. And the only part that was bad with it is because a lot of people just wanted to summon on Black Asta, and some people didn't know, right? Some people didn't know. But if you didn't know, then my thoughts on that is mainly that you were relatively new and you have a bunch of pulls left to grind, so you're fine. Because if you were a late game, I feel like a lot of late game players are more so the ones that check out content, because the game's kind of like really dry. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. So Gotcha Death, Blaze J, what are your thoughts on this?
The promotion, I think it was pretty good. I do like that they show it like, well aware about their kit.
Mhm.
So they introduced their kit and stuff so people can see, not like JP, which they do like
Oh,
a day before.
we got
so it's-
blessed. We got blessed with this season though. Them actually showing it
we did.
before, because usually they show it an hour before the game opens.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Global's doing like 2 days
Yes,
before,
they did.
so it's really good.
Yeah.
Just
To be fair,
in
especially
the
with
future
Global.
when they catch up, it's gonna be great. When
You go on Glossary, you see the whole kit either way. So for Global, it's
Oh,
even
yeah,
better
yeah.
for that. That's
Yeah.
another part that I think is really great.
And then
Yeah,
so
go.
the promotion was fine.
Yeah.
And the summon event, I mean, I think it only matters to people who kind of spend,
Mhm.
because like the 300, it was like a LR accessory.
That was huge.
I need my LR accessory, so it did, get me to summon more, which is fine. Supporting the game, whatever. So I didn't find too much problem with that. I don't think I saw many people complaining about it either, except like free to play players, which I don't know why they're complaining if you have to spend to get like better rewards. So
Yeah. I think it was just the timing, right? I personally, I mean, hey, to be fair, now
yeah.
that we know, this is honestly just great to have for future seasons, if we're thinking about it. Because we're going to have this
Yeah.
probably every time before Fest comes out, and that's going to be great. Being able to choose an SSR, getting extra materials, I'm completely fine with, right? The only thing is, it does let the gap between free-to-plays and whales become bigger, because that 300 pulls guaranteed LR accessory. Until we get accessory synthesis, it's going to be quite rough. It is going to be quite rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gotcha Death, now, do you have any thoughts for this?
So the promotion, I thought, like you guys said, it was pretty good. Being able to see the characters, their kit, it was pretty good. They did it nicely. When it comes to the event, though, I think the way it was done created FOMO for a lot of people. They were afraid to miss out on certain characters. A lot of people are missing William or Raya or whatever, so they were afraid to miss out on that. But me personally, I think the event was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
A lot of people were already gonna summon on season 4,
Yeah,
whether it's
that's the thing.
because the burn meta or waifu Noelle. So being able to select William or Raya for people that were missing it changed a lot of accounts. So I didn't think it was bad at all. I do see why people would be upset about it, but it wasn't that bad if you really look at the event.
Now, there's another part I want to mention about that selector, is that the only unit you should have been really focusing on and like even considering to summon because you wanted that selector was if you didn't have Raya. Because in like 2 to 3 days from now, tomorrow Event Arena is coming out, but in 2 to 3 days from now, we're probably going to be able to get the SSR selector from the exchange shop, maybe a bit later. And you could get William. So if you really wanted William, but you didn't want to spend, then they let you do that this season, which I think is probably how they structured it, to where, okay, if people really want to spend some pulls and they really want to like speed up the time for them to get William, well, they could do that at the beginning of the season. If not, wait 2 weeks and they could still get the SSR selector from Event Arena and still get William. Is how I feel like they structured it. So that's what I was telling people. If you guys want William, just wait if you don't want to summon. But if you want to summon, maybe just don't pick William, or pick William if you want, if you don't have him, or just pick Raya if you don't have him, right? So there was many different ways for them to go about it, but they shouldn't have directly been summoning for that SSR selector, because of the fact that we're still getting a free one tomorrow. Tomorrow. So I don't know, a bit weird. I feel that some people just kind of missed out on those patch notes, which at that point it's their fault, not the game's fault. So yeah, final thoughts. That's basically it. Section, do you want to just finish it off?
I think the event in a bubble is pretty good. I just think it was a communication issue, because solely the fact that Black Asta was right after it.
Yeah.
And also what you were saying about William, I think William is a unit. I mean, he really doesn't shine until you get him to 4 dupes. So the more ways for people to get Williams, especially free to plays, the better.
To be fair,
I
for the
summoned.
past 2
I did
weeks,
the 120 pulls. I did the 120 pulls just for William, knowing the fact that I will get another William from the event, and I still don't have enough dupes for him.
To be fair,
I feel like
that,
that's the case for a lot of players too.
I understand that, but at the same time, in the past 2 weeks, you could have, if you weren't focusing on guild wars, or not guild wars, but the squad battle, whatever. If you weren't focusing on that, you had enough stamina to max out at least 3 worlds. And that's not considering if you didn't touch any of the other worlds. So in the past 2 weeks, because of the stamina reduction, bond increase, people have probably gotten at least 8,000 crystals free from the bond minimum, right? Minimum, and also have maxed out 2 to 3 worlds at least. So there's that, right? Now, sure, it would make it a lot quicker, and you would be able to use those World 4 dupes elsewhere. But I mean, you for sure, in the past 2 weeks, with the amount of stamina we've been getting, and the stamina reduction, you 100% would have been able to get William max dupe if you really wanted to in the past 2 weeks, because of the bonuses. So that's kind of my thoughts on
Fair
that.
enough.
Obviously it takes a lot of grinding.
I completely
It
forgot
takes
about the thing
a
you
lot
get
of
from the
grinding,
world.
but
Yeah.
it was there, right? It was not like it wasn't there. People who really didn't have that max dupe but wanted it could have gotten it easily. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, I got mine to 4-star.
Yeah, that's it. And now you're
Mhm,
probably close to 5-star too. So I mean, that's big. I think that's another thing where, yeah, I mean, obviously you want as many William dupes as you can, but because you could get them for free and no other dupe matters as much as Williams in this game, even to the current day on JP, then I mean, to me, not really that big of a deal, right? It was just really, if you didn't have William but you wanted to get William right away, then that's when you would have chosen it from the 120 pulls. But to me, nah, I think it was pretty
Yeah, that
fine.
was me. I didn't have
Yeah.
the William.
Yeah, then in that case, I understand. If you wanted
Yeah.
to just speed it up, makes sense. Did someone have anything else to say on the matter? Or are we good to go to probably my favorite part of this podcast episode? So,
Now go ahead.
all right. Do you think they should have just skipped Gulduri and Vero? Obviously, we know that they're out. And how... Okay, I want you guys to think about this a bit. How or when do you guys think they should try and catch up? I think we talked about it a bit. Vulcan had a lot to say on the last episode, but I want to kind of talk about this a bit more. Maybe be on this topic for a little bit. I'll just start with a bit of my thoughts. Won't go too much into it, but I think that Gulduri and Vero could have just been skipped. But let's start off. If anyone has anything to say, they could just go on, and we'll try to get through everyone.
I'm gonna say no, they shouldn't, because we just got season 4 and Black Asta, 2 must summons in a way. Let us have a dead banner, right? Because there's still obviously upcoming characters we all want to get next season, even depending on which queen as well. There's a lot of diamonds that we need to spend, and we're obviously in a shorter path towards where JP's going, so it's gonna be a lot more quicker. So having a dead week after Black Asta, I mean, everyone's broke anyway, so I don't think I care too much.
Okay. All right. I'll wait till the end to give my full thoughts on this. Bliche?
Yeah, skipping Golden and Red. I mean, no one's gonna summon. I mean, people should skip them, but we should have a skip banner, like Beat said. Because yeah, a lot of people spent on Black Asta. For whales, I mean, not even they're gonna summon on these two garbage
Yeah, yeah.
characters. Like even at Max Dupe, I don't even think they're even usable.
Mm-hmm.
Especially now, like, where are you gonna use them in the meta right now? It's just Black Asta, just gonna tear them apart.
Yeah, Googly is kind of unusable until Charlotte and Fauna come out. And even at
Yeah,
that,
pretty
he's
much.
not best in slot for that, so.
And what, they have separate banners too? I mean, they could have just
Do
put them
they?
in one, and people
I don't
still
think
wouldn't
they
use
do.
them. They're not separate banners,
Um,
or is it just one banner with both of them? Like,
Let me check. Let me check Vanilla server.
because I remember I saw separate ones. Like, whoa, okay,
I thought
like
we separate. Yeah,
Uh, it's hard to
it should
tell.
be combined. Yeah.
It's really hard to tell, but I think there's. Are they separate? I don't know, guys. I'm not
I
gonna
think they are
lie.
because it's Goldry plus skill page.
No,
right?
but it said was Langris and Yuno together?
no.
No.
Oh, then no, they're not together.
No, they're
Okay, they're not
separate.
together. My bad. My bad. Okay, yeah.
If they wanted to catch up, they would have put him on the same banner
And then release
and
something else, maybe is what you're
and
saying.
like release like a Fauna
Mhm.
banner or like a
Okay.
Witch Queen
Ah,
banner.
don't do that.
Yeah, don't
That's
do
if they
that.
wanted to catch up though. But you
Bro,
know,
I went down to 0 gems, like the first time ever. Like
Oh
we do.
my.
Let's wait a
What?
bit.
so I think they could, you know, people they should leave it. And people let people skip it. You know, if people summon it, it's their fault. You know, that's why they don't have gems. So I don't, you know, it's not the game's fault or anyone's fault. It's their fault for summoning on that garbage. But should they just catch up? It's hard because you know they need to give out currency if they want to catch up. Because if they just straight up catch up and not give like any type of currency and skip all the like, there's still a lot of upcoming banners, like good banners that people want to summon on, like Charlotte's banner, Fauna. Kind of, you know, some people want to start that mono green team of Witch Queen for that mono red. There's just a lot of stuff people
Now,
could.
Okay.
know.
I'll wait till everyone's thoughts are out so I could like make sure.
But yeah, I don't think they should.
Okay.
Or they should just maybe try catching up, but not like heavily try to catch up.
Okay.
That's my thoughts.
I'll ask the second question after. So, Gotcha Death, your thoughts?
So I think they shouldn't skip them because if they were to skip them, right, it would either be a long time with no banners or they would rush a banner like Fauna. And after season 4 and Black Asta, most of us are broke. We need time to save up and wait for these, you know, hype characters. So I think having these characters that, like we all said, everybody's going to skip is good. It gives us time. No FOMO. We're not fearing of missing out on a good unit, and it sets us up for future units. So that's my thoughts on that.
Okay. Section?
I mean, it's gonna suck having those two on a banner, but I feel like it's a must-have.
Okay. Now, what if they give more pulls but speed it up quicker? Does it change anything for you guys?
If they give more
You mean
pulls, it
like
has to be
cutting
like
the
a lot
banner's
of pulls.
time?
So-
Yeah.
Okay. Now, also, do you guys think it's more important for? Okay, this is just a. Okay. Do you think it's more important for people to have more currency or for us to finally be caught up and people actually be hyped? At least for the game success.
Co-op. Co-op.
Currency. I think
It depends because
currency.
if we're far behind, then I don't mind. But if they're trying to catch up, then just catch up.
We
just
I could confirm they are trying to catch up. Yes.
think the
So
yeah, of
pace
course,
we're
of course.
at
That's what I'm
right
saying.
now is pretty
But I'm
good.
saying like because like from Grand Cross, right? Hate being like a week behind. Like that's like the worst thing. So like just sync up at that point if you're just trying to catch up.
yeah. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Plus, it sometimes can be a good thing because, like, once again, bringing up Grand Cross is they merged like 6 banners in one. I mean, we're not gonna
Yeah.
get that, but like, yeah, if they were to like, I mean, they won't do it, but like, if they were to merge like the Witch Queen and Fauna banner, to like
Oh,
make
God.
it easy to summon, because you don't have to, because we have less time now, right? You have one banner summon for both of them. That would be so much better.
I
That's
think
true.
if they want to skip Gilder and Veto, they probably should bring back the free daily pull you get at completing the missions. Maybe
Okay,
maybe
wait,
then it'll
wait,
make sense, kinda.
We're not missing out on anything from the dailies to monthlies because we get more in monthlies and our monthlies is shorter. So in a month we're getting about the same amount as JP in those missions. Just to say, I think
Oh,
we're missing
really?
out. Yeah, because in the monthly we're getting an extra 5 tickets from the monthly and also more crystals. So when you consider that
Yeah,
our
but,
monthly
okay,
is
hold on.
shorter, then it does average out almost to the same.
is the same amount good enough though? Korean has been out for so long, and we're
And how's Korea
basically
doing?
speeding through it.
I'm just gonna say,
Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's
like
right.
JP and Korea are making less than 500,000. We're making, even on a dead month, we made more than 10 times than them. Sorry, more than 20 times than them this month because they made like 300K. So,
Just astronomical.
I don't think,
40K is just
when
crazy.
you compare both of them, I don't think that's fair because JP is just so bad at handling
True.
a game. The amount of pulls they give are horrible and just they have no content. So very different, right? I feel like the game states are very different. It's hard to say that, but okay. I feel that at the rate we're going, we should be able to catch up by like Half-Anni. Is where I'm kind of gonna guess. Now, full catch up, probably not. How I think it's gonna go is we will catch up to seasonals because of how they structured it, but we're gonna be behind a bit on pickups, and then by like month 7 or 8, we're gonna be fully caught up. But I could see them, if they're smart, they're gonna have the half anniversary with the first anniversary kind of in line with the same units. Do you guys think that would be good? Because like, I mean, imagine 6 months you get Spirit Dive. That would be pretty hype.
That'd be
That
yeah,
would
that'd be
hype.
lit.
I would like that. It's just gonna be a bit hard to do, I guess, but it would be quite nice, right? I guess.
Yeah, I feel like they would have to increase the rewards for the raids, because we'll probably miss out a lot of raids compared to KR.
Yeah.
They already get more extra rewards, so I don't know, just increase the rewards for raids that we get, so we can at least have some dupes for the festivals we're about to get, or the mats, especially like the skill upgrade mats are still really hard to get for, I guess, global players.
Yeah.
So increasing that and just increasing overall materials for characters, and I guess extra currency.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't mind how fast they went.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. I think that it would be just better for them to kind of lose a bit of money now to get way more money in a month or two. Is like the ideal world for me personally. I think just especially for us, we'd be more excited if we'd be able to play on global as our main, and it actually be the same thing as playing on JP, same units,
Yeah, I'm tired
same
of
stuff.
GP. Always have to translate.
Yeah, I mean I've been
Because just playing on JP is a horrible experience.
very true. I just the one thing I hate the most, I think that probably the JP players could like relate the most is how big the differences are between the global version and the JP version. Just there's so many little differences that
quality
start
of
to
life?
stack up. Yes,
Yeah.
that start to stack up that you don't know if they're coming to global. I think that's also just horrible and hell for global players. You don't know what's coming, what's not coming, right? You don't know if the Gateway of Reunion change is coming, which hopefully it isn't. I think realistically speaking, it's better
Oh yeah,
to
it's all
get.
garbage.
It's better to get
That
the
one is worse somehow.
it. Okay, I think it's fine for JP. It just sucks for everyone. But it's to make more money, but it doesn't really matter when the seasonals are dog shit either way. So I don't know what they're thinking. It's like, oh yeah, we'll make it now that it takes about a month. I think it's a month after the seasonals come out to get them for free. But you don't even want to summon for them because they all suck. Yami's been bad. Luck's been bad. Okay, Luck's the only okay one. And then William's bad. Mimosa needs to be at 2 dupes to be runnable, but there's so many other units you could run instead of her. So I don't know what they're doing. Like they made this change, and now that they made this change to make it so that the seasonals are more pay to win, you don't even want to spend. So yeah, I hope that doesn't come. That's like you don't know if that's gonna come. What else? Gear Transcendence, when is it coming? The new gear sets, when is it coming? Right? The mage pieces change, when is it coming? Right? All these little things just start to stack up, and it's like, okay, well, when is everything coming? Right? And I mean, okay, is the monthly change coming? Are they changing it to where we get another universal skill page dupe? Right? What else? I mean, are we gonna start getting more stamina from the mage pieces shop? So when you start to wonder everything, it's like, okay, well, what do I plan for? Which is the only thing we should be knowing. Also, the skill page shop, when you sell your skill pages and you get the like little crystal things. Do you know
Yeah.
like the 2 universal dupes you could get every month plus the guarantee, or not the guarantee, but like the skill page selector for the seasonals? Those 3 things, is that coming? And then once you start to stack these up, I feel that the global foresight we have just doesn't really mean much because we don't know what's coming and what's not coming. Also, no story tickets. There's so many differences, right? That I'd rather just catch up than have this global foresight because these are 2 very different structured games. Right? right?
Yeah, and he's just missing so much. I mean, Global's missing so much stamina. Like the seasonal chest, like that would be so good. Getting old seasonals, so people wouldn't have to complain anymore about on my comments saying, "Oh, I don't have a Mosa. Who can I use?" So, stuff like that. And the way I max my skill pages on JP is because of the shops, getting those skill page dupes. Without that, I wouldn't have maxed like my Astas.
I wouldn't
my
max Leona at
like
all.
any of them.
I
So,
agree.
It's really clutch, and if Global just gets those, it would be really clutch for them too.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm just hoping. I think my biggest hope, personally, is we don't need to talk about real time this time. I think it's just kind of pointless because it's just complaining. Actually, no, we might get into it if we get pissed enough in the next section. But I, to me, catching up is the biggest thing, right? We see how it affects Dokkan, at least for global hype. I mean,
Yeah.
bro, I want to summon on Beast Gohan right now, but my main is global.
Same.
I have to wait 6 months.
Same.
Oh my god, the way it makes me so annoyed, and I see this so much, and also the thing that makes me want to catch up the most is to stop having global idiots in my comments talking
my
to me,
God.
talking to me about JP units that they've never used. That might be the worst thing. That might be the worst thing. No knowledge, no nothing. They've
Yeah.
seen one video on people showcasing that they maybe seen
That
my
happens
video,
every game,
but
bro.
that's why we need to catch up. I just want to be able for the global players to have the same knowledge as me. And if they're wrong, it's only because they just don't understand the game instead of because they haven't played with the unit and are trying to educate me on something they don't know about. Also, it can't just be me. When I look at I know which comments are global players when they're talking about GP units. I know exactly which ones because the way they talk about those units is just makes no sense, right? So catching up would be great. But I did make a little what's it called? Like a schedule that I'll put it. Actually, I can't put it in there. How would I show it to you guys? Oh, let me go on my phone. Okay, I'll go on my phone and I'll show you guys that way. But I said that basically by like 6th anniversary, we would be getting 6th anniversary, 6 month, like season 6, 7, we would be able to kind of catch up. I think like season 7 to season 7 or 8. Oh, 8. Yeah, so like half anniversary is season 8 actually. To JP, right? At least for some of the units, or like kind of catch up, right? So I'll put it on screen right now, and then I'll send it to you guys in a little second, right? Just give me one little second to be able to send it. But basically, right? Basically, check the general chat right now, so I could put it in since I have something else taking up the screen. Okay, so there's that, right? So as of right now, that's basically like what I said. Now, as for the main thing to really focus on, it's mainly just, I guess, the schedule of the dates, right? So for the most part, these dates are pretty accurate. How they do it at this point, we know it's like even seasons, right? Are fests, right? And then odd seasons are 20 days, no fests, only one pickup. So at this point, we're only really missing Fauna and Witch Queen, and then obviously Zora and Vanessa, but they're not even out yet on JP, and Leona. So there's like kind of 2 batches of pickups missing, and then there's 3 seasons of seasonals missing. So for the seasonals, obviously we're going to catch up pretty quick because they're kind of like increasing the season time. So there is that. Or shortening the season time. But overall, would you say that it would be feasible for some time in, I would say like mid-May, for it to really sync up to JP? Do you think it's possible? Not 100%, because you could see on this, right? They would be coming out like not perfectly on time, and what they could do is maybe, in my eyes, they like catch up with seasonals pretty much almost on time or a bit later, but they could still have, like, for example, the Half-Anni unit be the first anniversary unit on GP. That's like kind of my thoughts on it right now. So yeah, go on.
Possibly. Looking at the schedule, it's pretty spot on, to be honest. It just depends on when they want to release Leona, I guess.
Yeah.
Because imagine they drop her in March with season 5.
Leona would probably be like beginning April, if we're being honest. My guess, now looking at it, if I had to give an updated, season 5 would be Fauna and Witch Queen. Then season 6 would be Leona, and then Zora, Vanessa. and then season 7 would be the JP end of March. Yeah, end of March, and then we would have season 8 being half anniversary with the end of April pickup. That's how it would be like delayed by one, because I kind of thought that we would be getting 2 pickups with season 3, but that was not the case. So I mean that's why it was like kind of if we delay it by one, it should be pretty accurate, this schedule, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's basically currently, just had to like kind of share that. But if do you guys have any final thoughts, or do we get to maybe the juiciest part of this episode?
Let's go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. Do we think that the game is boring or in a bad state or dead? Any of the three? You could go in any direction when you're talking about this. I'm giving you guys the complete floor to talk about this. I think it's, as of right now, I've seen the French community, Kabuki, and a lot of people in my comments talking about this. So I think it's kind of important to maybe get this out in a podcast format so that we could like talk about it how we want.
Who's going first?
Beats, do you have anything to say, or?
I'm not too sure, because like I'm still in, like the honeymoon of Black Asta, right? Because I never really used them on JP, so like it's fine for now, but I can see it getting bad, especially with no events.
Yeah.
But like I'm kind of okay now. But yeah, I can see, in a few weeks, just it dropping off a little bit. But that doesn't mean they can't do more, right? Because they can always do more.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of fine now. But I see the arguments. I can understand it.
So, a lot of people were just mad that there was not many events with Black Asta. I think that was like the main point. And personally, I find characters to be content. I mean, that's kind of how gacha games are structured. So not denying the fact that characters are content is kind of stupid to me. But it's a different story if you're not having fun with those characters, which I've experienced right now on season 9 JP. William and Mimosa might have been the worst release for me ever. Next to what? Because I feel like there was another. I think it was like Goodlity and Vettel was. That to me was fine. Honestly, I was like fine with that. But there was one batch of units. Not Kiaro Kohono, because I was like kind of on vacation. I don't know what it was, but there was another like batch of units that I personally did not really like.
Was
But-
it and Langris for you?
It might have been, but Langris I was having quite a bit of fun with, because like his SP gimmick on launch was pretty fun, and the JP meta was like not the meta just in general was not that deep at that point. I think people started sweating a lot later into the cycle. But no, it might have been season 3. I didn't like season 3's banner, but I think season 9 immediately takes the cake for me. So yeah, characters as content I think is fair, but Black Asta, I mean, a lot of people seem to be having fun, so I mean that's good. But do you think that they need to kind of like up their game, start bringing in the like original content that's been promised from JP's side already to global? What do you guys think? So I mean, Gotcha Death, since you're also global only, what are your thoughts on that so far, especially with the like lens of like Black Asta hype at the moment still?
All right, so I don't think the game's dead, but I do feel that it lacks some sort of end game content, be it PvP or PvE. In terms of PvE, most of us have already beat almost everything, and there's nothing really to keep going, nothing to do at end game. Even with Black Asta right now on my main account, there's just nothing to do. And in PvP, if you've already climbed the ladder, the weekly rewards are nice, but that's about it. And the PvP shop is not enough to keep me motivated to get on and do the tedious PvP every day. So I do feel that they need some sort of content that we can, like you guys were saying earlier, test out, do different runs, just challenge yourself to do different things. Otherwise, it's going to get a little stale if it keeps going like this. So they do need some sort of new content.
On that point, listen guys, I've been watching a lot of Dokkan content. Okay, whenever there's an anniversary for like Bleach, Dokkan, hype Grand Cross units, I'm addicted to just watching videos for those games especially. But Dokkan getting as many like hard stages as they did made me so jealous, because we just don't get that type of thing, right? Hall of Illusions was fun for the 5 minutes that it took me to build the teams. My favorite part about this game is when they bring new bosses and I have to find out what teams to build on my own. That's my favorite part.
Yes.
Like when Guild
For
Boss
sure.
that was so much fun.
See, like, listen, we all like immediately everyone said yes. We need more content, or we just need some type of thing. They need to bring back, honestly, at this point. I think Blaze was the only one playing at this time when they had that 3 teams boss. They need to bring that back, make it a bit more balanced, but keeping it very hard.
Oh yeah.
Increase the rewards a fuck ton, okay? Because listen, they need to increase the rewards to like an insane amount. We need to be, if we clear everything in that, like, I'm not kidding. For the difficulty it was at the time, I would have said everyone who cleared it getting 50 pulls would not have been an understatement because it was that hard. I'm not even kidding.
Wait.
I could not clear it.
What boss is that?
What was it called? I don't really. Let me try to pull it up. But basically, there was 10.
There's other
the
bosses
gauntlet.
besides the rock guy and the snake.
No. It was not a boss. It was a limited time event. There was
There's a gauntlet where you fought like
Oh.
a bunch of teams back to back to back with like
10
the same
waves.
team.
And you had
So-
3 teams, and you had to share
Yeah.
the 10 waves to clear between those 3 teams. Now, let me try to find it.
What the fuck? That sounds awesome.
That's what I'm saying. But
The difficulty was
But
like
when I'm telling you
Wait,
these guys were
what?
one tapping you, they were one tapping you. Okay, it was not easy to beat. So that was the
There-
big point. Now let me try to find out what it was called. So since that point, they never brought it back because I'm sure like 5 people probably and everything beat it. So there was just not really a point to really having it because it was a bit too hard. But now if they scale it down too much, then that's also a problem, right? So they're gonna have to find, okay, Advanced War. That's what it was called. So they did talk about it in the dev notes, talking about bringing it back. But I'm telling you, I couldn't beat it. I couldn't beat it.
you had weird gimmicks where like you're using one team and then you go to the other, like you beat the first team, the other team had like you had to have them burn to 2 damage. It was just
Yep.
like in Hall of Illusions, which
Basically.
was so dumb.
But no, I think honestly, if they revamp that a bit, it could be very fun.
Yeah.
And it's just the problem with it then is basically, okay, imagine you're fighting an arena team, okay? But they have permanent buffs and you're permanently debuffed in a lot of the cases. So it's basically like that. But you also have to share one team for 3 to 4 stages each. And also when you go to a new stage after the first time you use that team, a lot of the like on the first turn buffs, like you know how some people have buffs for the first turn that they're on? If it's first turn instead of every wave, those
Rate
buffs
and
won't
speed.
stay. Those buffs won't stay after the first time you use them because of the fact that it's not every wave and it's a 10 wave event. So because it was a 10 wave event, a lot of the buffs wouldn't stay. So you're basically hard nerfed and they're hard buffed. So it was like very hard. And the rewards were horrible. They were worse than Spire of Honor. It was that bad. No pulls. You got
What?
barely anything. So, you know, if it does come to global, that would be interesting. They would need to revamp it to a just insanely just weird degree, right? So
Man,
yeah,
I don't know how big games have so many cool concepts and they just fumble the balancing so hard.
Yeah. What was cool about World Boss is that they did make it that the upper rankings for JP now, like if you were rank 1, you got 50 pulls. So at least they're starting to increase the rewards. But we need that for global now, because especially for World Boss, it was very unfortunate how the first World Boss didn't have the same rewards as JP does, where we get the reroll stones in it. Because I remember, I think I was talking with Blaze J how I was like pissed that there was no reroll stones in it after they announced that reroll stones were going to come out, but they didn't give any free to play. They didn't give any free to play in
the
season
shop.
2. You had to buy them. So
Yeah.
no one was able to get free to play reroll stones in season 2, but they already announced it and they had World Boss. They could have just implemented it into that. So I feel that that's another point about the like thing where it's not really synced up. There's a lot of these events that need to start syncing up more to the more recent times. Now, what's funny is that also JP will take a lot from global. Just like recently, they took the receive all button after global implemented it. So, just kind of funny things there. How
Finally.
it's kind of funny for that. So yeah. Now, biggest thing.
Yeah.
Now that we're kind of done, I kind of like ranting a bit and all that stuff. I mean, if anyone else has stuff to say, go ahead. If not, we'll go into like what we're hoping for out of this game now. We're good?
Pretty much said everything.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
So, if there was a couple things, 1 or 2 things you would really want to be changed or really want them to start focusing a lot of their time into, what would it be? Now, I'll start with this. I'll give you guys a bit of time to kind of really get into it, kind of think what you want to say for this. But personally, I would really want them to start focusing a lot of time into making new content that isn't related to characters. Now, a lot of the things is that at this point, I don't think they're using much of a budget for these new characters animations because they're taking a lot of old animations or animations that have been made for months, right? So I think that is kind of pretty clear. So I think that if they start maybe putting the money they've been getting from Global, I don't know, maybe just a good amount of it into making a bunch of new hard content that isn't too tedious in the way that you don't have to do it every single day like limited time challenges, I think that would be pretty good. Second of all, I would like them to fix the matchmaking issues for it to be possible that real-time PvP comes out. Those are the two main things. And third, if I had to throw one in, maybe making seasonals wanting you to summon, because the seasonals since season 7 have not been it. So that's another thing. Also, my fourth bullet point, but this is like kind of a small thing, which might be fixed. Maybe they're going to start adding this, bringing SRs into the game, which in 2 weeks, we're getting Vanessa and Zora. And if I don't see Ladros with them, if I don't see an SR Ladros with Vanessa and Zora, I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be pissed.
Ladros should have been at SSR, bro.
He should have,
Yeah,
but
he
he is an SR, so yeah.
done him dirty.
I think a lot of people would have summoned for Ladros, but the same way a lot of people would have summoned for other units, so there's that. So, yeah. Beats, if you want to go ahead.
I mean, you said
Floor is
most of it, right? Like, we need to get, a lot more PvE content, real-time PvP, sorry. I think that will make a big difference, because, like, it's such a different game at that point, like the mind games, because just outplaying an opponent is, like, something massive you can do. Like, I can't think of an exact example, right? But just outplaying your opponent, not realizing, just messing up something that bots can't do, right?
Yeah.
Is just adds so much to the game, and once again, make some of the worst characters pretty good, right? Because you can go, like, at least this is for for YouTubers, right? But you can go with a bad character and you beat someone. Like, hey, I beat actual player, right?
Yeah.
No one cares too much if you beat a bot.
I mean,
and
it's very
also,
exciting content. It is exciting content.
That adds more to it as well, because, like, you can bring who would it be, like Jack, right? Like, he obviously is good when you max him out, but, like, people don't verse him, don't know how to play against him, so they're not gonna know what to do. But he pops off because they don't know how to play against him. That's like the biggest thing that I get from, like, every single PvP game that I ever played that, like, we need to get in the game.
Just to kind of bounce off of that for Jack real quick. What's cool is that he does have a fun playstyle with when he's hit, he does get mobility. So there could be some very interesting cases where they think, oh, well, I'm going to attack Jack to try and get him low. They increase the mobility, then he stuns someone, and then it's like, well, fuck. So just to kind of give an example for that.
Yeah, because, like, if they don't know how to play against them because no one uses them, that's, like, a benefit because you get a massive advantage.
Yeah.
And then, just once again, PvE missions, like, or, like, more stuff. Just one big, like, weekly event I think you need to do, like a permanent event. Like, I think a lot of games are doing it now recently. Just one big boss event you do weekly, big challenges. And I think a lot of them are doing it as well, like roguelike stuff, right?
Okay.
Like, you kind of said it. We didn't get on Global, so I don't know what it is. But yeah, when you go through waves and waves, like, you can see how far you can go and get rewards.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good as well.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned, like, a weekly thing, if they just made it once, like on Saturday or Sunday, 50% stamina off, that would be perfect, I think. People would want to play more. I think that's pretty free. So yeah, anyway, just a kind of something I thought of. I saw someone bring it up and I'm like, yeah, actually that's true. Blaze?
Mainly just RL PvP. Like, that's the one thing of Grand Cross which I play a lot is because of the PvP and I'm facing real players most of the time. But if they just added that, it would just be so much better. Because even if there's no PvE content, which they'll eventually add, they can never run out of that. But having that PvP, RL PvP, just knowing you're going against real players, everything is different. You don't, like, the bot is not doing the same thing over and over again. It's just gonna be so much fun. And pretty much just, I think with PvE, they should just increase the amount of rewards, or at least some bot where you can grind skill upgrade materials, because that's still, like, the rarest materials in the game.
Yeah, so I think that was what Guild Boss is, but it's still, I think for JP it's a bit better because of how many fests they're releasing, so you need less skill materials in general. But for global, it's definitely a problem, at least I would say. But yeah, that's very true. I think PvE content is something that this game is severely lacking but they're lacking in content kind of everywhere. So that's for sure. Now,
Like they think their PvE content's like grinding gear, which I guess it is, but it's just very
I mean,
tedious.
yeah, it is for sure. Gotcha Death, do you have anything you would like to say for this?
Well, I think you guys covered pretty much everything. New content, and like you said, Gikku, if they add new SR units, it would be amazing. There are some really good SR units in the game, and they allow you to do so much. And there are so many characters in the game that have their full kits, models, everything.
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't add them.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's not even like they don't exist. They have all the animations ready, and in the files they have the skill pages, skins even ready. So it's just a bit odd why they're not adding them.
Yep.
That's kind of one thing the game does good at is like SRs, because normally in other games they get like outscaled in terms of like stats.
Stats don't
But,
matter
like,
too
yeah.
much here. That's the good
Yeah,
part.
exactly
So,
right. Like it just depends on what the skills are. It doesn't matter if they're SSR or SSR. So yeah,
unless it's a
it-
DPS. I don't think you can make a
'cause-
good SR DPS.
yeah, yeah. But normally, yeah, I'm kind of opposed because like, oh, no one really cares. Like Ladros being an SR, a little bit disappointing because I would have preferred him to be an SSR. But if it doesn't really change what he does in game, then it doesn't
Yeah.
matter, right?
Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up is that, for example, you know Yagos, the fucking the white hair guy with the hat from the
Yeah.
Keten chapter. He
The
was a
guy
shock
with the
unit.
slime magic.
No, oh, sorry, my bad. I was
Which
thinking
one?
of the electric guy. What's his name?
I know you think I don't know his name though.
The electric guy from the Keten chapter, one of the generals.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so
The general.
okay, I forgot his name. I don't really know. It doesn't really matter. So
Forgot his
what
name too.
I brought this up. I was talking with Section, and yeah. Anyway, so if he would apply shock, that would end up helping out the luck, right? The seasonal luck that came out, because luck at max dupe gets back his ultimate if he attacks someone with shock. So if Luck were to use his ultimate turn 1 because he wanted to do big damage turn 1, and in this case there would be no shocks on the enemies because of the fact that he has to first use his ult to get the shock on the enemy. So let's say for example the Yagos was quicker than Luck, whatever the name is, I have no idea, but the shock guy was quicker than Luck. You could use him in a very niche team where he applies the shock, Luck max dupe gets back his ult because that unit, the SR applied the shock, and then Luck is going to be good with his ult again. So there's little niche team comps where even if Luck is not the best, you might want to use this SR with Luck because it would help him out. So I feel like just trying to make these SR units not too good, but still coming out, like providing to be more content, and filling in niche roles, very, very niche roles, but still niche roles would be good. Or just making PvE units like they did with Gifso, because Gifso was pretty good to help people out who didn't have Sally or Ghost. So yeah. I think that's like my point on SRs. Section, did you want to finish it off with anything else?
I mean, you guys went over the major stuff. Honestly, I'm just looking forward to two things. Mainly just like new original content, but which is gonna be a long way to come. But one thing that they can actually start doing right now is, since they're already doing 2 seasonals, they might as well give them unified attacks. They need to bring back that system. It's one of my favorite things about this game.
Yeah.
It fits Black Clover as an IP so fucking much. I don't know why they did.
Yeah, because don't they actually have
They
like
just
unified
need to bring
attacks
it back, in my
within
opinion.
Black Clover itself? Like there's actual, like for example, I just off the top of my
Yeah.
head,
The
Luck.
series is jam packed with unified attacks throughout it all. Like, I don't know why they're.
I think the main one
they're
that
just
was missed out
ditching all of that.
was Black Asta and Witch Queen. Could have been crazy. Would have made people want to summon for Witch Queen even more. But I digress. Nothing much to say there. Now,
Dude,
yeah, go
they
on.
can make you want to roll on seasonal banners just by doing that. Because you're
Yeah.
getting one for free, and then you're just gonna roll to get the other one.
That's true.
If they have like a really cool unified attack,
I don't know if they could. Would they be able to do it for
and they
limited units
they
though?
also drip fed too.
That's what I was about to say. I think
Because I
because like they're
remember
so
something
far
with
apart.
Buchigiri, one of the Dragon Ball games. I remember they had to give one of the units for free because you can't limit a certain thing behind having 2 premium units. So that's one thing.
law in that in Japan.
So
I would say it's got to make sense as well, right? Because
Yeah.
who would Black Asta? I mean, you said Witch Queen, but like I'm thinking more like right? Like if we get a Spirit Dive, but like we have to get the combo attack months after, because obviously Spirit Dive's not in the game yet.
yeah,
So they could technically like, buff Asta when like comes out and like boom you got like a combo
Yeah,
attack and then boom he's
that's
now
why I
like
said
got a free team.
seasonals are. Yeah,
Yeah.
seasonals. That's why seasonals are just so perfect. They are the perfect opportunity to use the system in the game.
thing
Because you're already
is,
giving one of them for free. I think you
there's
can
for sure
bypass that
data
law.
that like seasonals are summoned on less. So I mean, honestly, that might be good. Now also the thing is with seasonals is that
Yeah.
seasonals there's like no one between them either being insanely busted or just not really needed. If we really like, if I were to go through every single seasonal in the game right now, it's just kind of sad, especially the
Look,
last two seasons.
if they make it so that their unified attack is worth putting the other shit seasonal on
Yeah.
the team, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I think
it would have
that's
to
a
be
really missed
insanely
opportunity
busted,
for the
but
game.
To be fair, I
Um,
think I'm okay with them not doing a seasonal. I think as long as it's actual like the main canon characters.
yeah, I would
like,
rather the
Lick
main
and Riot
canon
makes sense.
characters. Yeah.
Because like they're kind of like based off the actual anime, right? Like I don't really care if William and Mimosa don't have a command attack, but like Vanessa and who would Vanessa be with?
Well, Vanessa has one
It'll
with
be Finral, right?
They have one together.
Yeah.
But it's just
Oh, they do
the
already.
SRs. It's the SRs. So
SRs, yeah. So they have to like
I don't know.
Who knows
It's
when
a
we're
bit
gonna get
odd.
no Finral.
Because I don't know. I feel like in the future having one for like Langris and Finral once they're like brothers, like actual like friendly again, could be cool. You know, stuff like that.
I mean,
But at that point, wouldn't you just rather them save like a dual unit?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's so odd to have it would be funny to have a dual unit, because it's like a dual unit and then you combo with another unit. You know, like in this game it would be a bit odd, but it would be probably the only way they could go to make hype units after they kind of exhaust everything. I would find it hype still. Like, give me a Asta and give me like a Noelle and Nozel. Give me a Nozel and Fuego, right? Give me a Luck and Magna. There's so many options, right? So that would be cool. I would like to see a lot of them though. Like just off the top of my head, right? Give me like a Leopold and Asta one. Give me a Kyoto Kohono one. I think that a Kyoto Kohono one could probably buff both of the units, because Kyoto's damage isn't bad. He's just lacking in some areas. So let's say if Kohono uses her her combo instead of the ultimate, then we could get some pretty insane stuff for that, right? Give me a Mara Leona combo with, I don't know, Fuego would be sick if Salamander Fuego comes out in the future, right? So little things like that. And obviously my personal favorite would be Black Asta and Witch Queen, because their combo like together is not that crazy. Because Witch Queen just heals Asta. So like if Witch Queen maybe, I don't know, like it was an AoE attack where everyone was taunted to Asta, and then Witch Queen gives anti-magic through the combo itself, then that would be like just as insane, right? So I think it's just a bunch of missed opportunities for that, for sure. So I mean, yeah, we kind of went over a lot. My only last point that I talked about a bit in the last podcast was giving polls in different ways instead of just bingo, but that I don't really want to get into it too much. I think it's kind of, it's just we're already getting a
beating
decent
the
amount of
dead
polls,
horse.
but yeah, that too. That's basically. It's just I would like to be able to do raid and feel more accomplished than just, okay, here's your dupes. Like maybe if you clear it under X amount of time, or I don't know, you do like 1 million damage in it, then you get like 2 pulls or 3 pulls, or you get like 50 crystals for doing X thing. You do 50 crystals for clearing with everyone alive. You do 50 crystals for clearing with 2 buffers and 2 attackers, stuff like that, right? Just making us like try.
Yeah, the summer
do more
event was
things.
pretty nice.
Talking about the raid, the price on that, what is it, 10 million gold?
Oh,
That's
wait,
crazy.
okay.
They could have just made it like 10 tickets
on.
for that instead of the
me-
10 million gold.
Let me pull that up. Oh my, yeah, no.
Wait, what?
Okay,
10
so
million?
basically, okay, why is my thing is kind of like glitching out right now? Lovely. All right, okay, we're good. My bad. I'm gonna pull it up for you guys on. Let me pull
Like
it on
if you
Discord.
do all the missions, you get extra, like a lot more
So
the raid
essentially,
material. Or
basically,
so you
500 for a universal dupe, 3,100 for 10 million gold. Tell me the ratio. 6 times as much for 10 million gold.
What?
Tell me how.
Man.
Tell me how.
Okay, what were they thinking?
Guys, it's genuinely leaving me speechless. I saw that and
if that was 10 tickets, I would accept it.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy what they're doing. So for that, yeah. There's a lot of things that need to change. I think that just, yeah, main thing that I think we could kind of like agree on. We need more content in both characters for SRs, maybe combos, and then also PvE and PvP. We're good with that?
You know,
Yes.
a lot of PvE. Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I think PvE is just because I mean some people don't like the PvP aspect. Some people are not as competitive, and I feel like this game a lot of people are casual. So having some PvE content would be
Yeah.
probably the best.
They need to cater to the casuals
Now,
more.
as for original content, my personal theory is that season 10 will have the first original content. I don't know if it's going to be a side story or what, but because of how advanced the story is, if they want Spirit Dive to come out with story for for first anniversary on JP, my guess is that one of the 4 seasons upcoming until Spirit Dive will be original story, which to me like season 10, something new, right? Maybe they want to like delay it a bit because I mean maybe they want to show Zora, but I don't know. There's so many different ways they could go about this, but I would really like for them to do original story, and this season to me makes sense. I don't know, it's just I'm feeling it. I could be coping, but I'm hoping, you know. So that's it for that. We'll move on. I want to have this conversation about the season 9 units, and then also the choice of the season 10 units. So to kind of start off, the season 9 units are William and Mimosa. William is a blue defender, and Mimosa is a green healer. So my problem with Blue William is that imagine if they made Blue William, the support William, better, and then they took away all his speed. Is basically the situation. There's no other way to say it. They gave the new William more damage reduction, some pretty good effects, giving him a 2-turn taunt if there's a counter attack on him. What is it? Making him like a sort of DPS, having a good combo. Also giving protection if everyone's blue to the DPS. But they just stripped him of any speed. So he became shit. And then Mimosa, I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time liking healers in this type of meta because of how easy it is to taunt now. Marileona taunts, Asta taunts, Asta AoE taunts also, Noelle taunts. So I find it hard to find good use in healers. So I'll start with Blaze J since he's like the main one who has used these units. If you guys want to give a couple thoughts on it, then you guys can. If you don't want to, that's fine. You haven't really used the units too much. But Blaze J, I did want to talk about this with you a bit.
Yeah, the new units they are
JP,
pretty
guys,
mid.
on JP, just to say.
Yeah,
I need to
JP
preface
units,
this.
season 9. William, well, I was using him. He was, I mean, his damage wasn't good even with the high defense. I thought it was gonna be way better.
It was okay, but it was not anything crazy because
It
it wasn't
was,
Black
yeah,
Asta.
it wasn't. Yeah, and his skill 2 is, I mean, it was alright. I don't really use it that much, but his ult is what his specialty is, and just using it at the end is just
so bad.
So like like you use it now, cool, and then he has like a gimmick where you want to use it with counter characters, and I've got to a point where everyone has like a 4-turn counter, but the whole team doesn't do damage because I'm running Charlotte, him, Luck, and then Noelle, and like those counters aren't doing anything but.
And sometimes the
Luck.
counters fuck you over.
Yeah, and like I go into Black Asta's anti-magic.
Yes, and also not even just that. You attack into Mario, you reproc 3 burns.
Yep, and I'm just dead to burns.
So it's just the counter meta is ending up being so bad, especially if you go into a debuffer. Oh, GG. Yeah. If they have Noelle's skill page on, you're losing 4 SP on everyone. So, yeah.
William wasn't really that. And then the only thing good is his stun, I guess. It's just like a 10% extra more than Mars.
Yeah.
Which is okay, but the stun isn't really.
And also because of the character choice, it just doesn't work out because you can't really have high damage reduction if you're running this William early on.
Yeah.
So it's bad. That Mimosa, if you had the SP, like if you had her at Duke 2, she gives everyone 1 SP every turn. Is it just Mimosa's turn or is it everything? I think it might be every ally's turn, which would.
I don't have it, so I don't know.
It's hard to say, but it's decent. It's good enough.
Yeah, Mimosa. I mean, the only use she has is having that invincibility to your highest attack character.
Yeah.
Which is good if it's Marileona, but I found it where you use it with Fauna. She's pretty quick, so when she goes, it's basically gone, and she's basically dead like in the next few turns. And so I find it better to use a Marileona, but still like she's a defender. She can tank pretty well, so those hits aren't really doing much unless it's like your proc early anti magic for Asta. And she tanks it,
Yeah.
but like the only thing else she has good is the combo, which is the 3 SP. And I was telling you how it would be kind of cool to have like combo with
Oh yeah.
Asta, and then Witch Queen just get his anti magic quick again.
If she
But
doesn't
other
die.
than that,
If she doesn't
yeah,
die or if she's not
yeah,
taunted.
she doesn't die.
Because if she's taunted, she just can't use it either. So
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
So yeah, those are the two units, and I don't think they'll be here for long, and I don't think they'll ever come back in the meta unless they somehow get an extra buff to their team, which I don't
yeah,
know.
Zora. I'm just like I've said this that Zora might make William good, but I just because of William's low speed, it just doesn't work out. So, you now anyone else? Do you guys have any thoughts just on the character choices in general and the role choices, considering it's our second blue William and it's our second same role, same color Mimosa.
Yeah, from a global player's
that's dumb.
perspective, considering I don't know their kits in full detail, just seeing another green Mimosa and another blue William, just without knowing much about them, knowing that they're the same, color, same typing per se, it's already not looking good.
Yeah.
It doesn't get me excited for those units just from that. And then you guys talk about their kits and how they're not that good. It's even worse.
What's funny is that the blue William is basically just a. If they were at the same speed, this blue William would just be a better version of the other one, in a lot of
Yeah.
cases. Besides the fact that the other blue William, his counter, his combo is good for DPSs.
Combo,
They would
yeah.
both have good stuff. So I just don't get like if they were gonna make this tank a support tank, in the way that he gives 54% damage reduction, increases counter attack amount, and gives debuff immunity on his ult. If they were just to make him quick, that William would have instantly been S tier at the bare minimum. So very weird. They should have just if they were gonna do like kind of like putting like their hands in two bowls, right? Just like fully invest into it. I just don't get why they're not. Even like at that point, don't even release a William. But congrats on them for finally getting rid of the beta animations they had from literally over a year ago. So I guess there's that. No more of them wondering where to put them because they're gone. 'Cause they are the animations we had from the William in the beta that were changed on launch. So whatever. I don't know. I feel like if they already had the animations, maybe just making the unit good to get extra profit would have been nice. But not my game. Not my game, I guess. So yeah, it was very weird for that. Beats or section?
Uh,
I mean,
I've
really
not
got much to
obviously
say.
played them.
Yeah.
So I mean, I read them. They sounded good from the looks of it. Williams sounded good, but got bad stats. But for typing, I don't really care too much. I like the fact that they're buffing
I
up
think
each of the monotypes.
Oh, we'll talk about that right after the mono. So
Yeah, because I really like
I think-
mono red. Right? I like. Sorry, you go.
no, go ahead. I cut you off.
I was just saying, I like the fact that like Mono Red's actually a competent team now, and I kind of like using Mono stuff even in other games. So I like the idea of what they were trying to do. So I hope they do more of it. But yeah, it sounded like it didn't work. So yeah, rip.
yeah, the thing is with mono teams. Actually, section go first because this is gonna make us kind of sprawl into a whole nother thing.
Yeah. I think the mono blue team with William could be kind of saved if they add a speed buffer for William, or a speed buffer that works in that
kind of.
team.
Oh, I mean,
A blue one.
you know what's funny? I would say Vanessa, but she's green, so it just wouldn't work out for mono blue. So very unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
maybe what's his name, Zora? Maybe Zora is blue.
he is probably gonna be. To me, Zora's a
I
blue
mean,
unit.
yeah. I mean, it would make sense.
He's either
yeah,
blue or red.
he's a
I don't see him
counter
being
unit. He
green.
has to be in the counter team.
Yeah.
If they make him red or green, I don't lose my mind.
Now, the thing is with mono teams is that almost every unit now, their passive is basically based off mono. It's kind of becoming a bit annoying how they're trying to do this. And I personally am not a fan of it because it's restricting units. And when units get restricted, that means there's less teams in the meta, which is my personal problem with it. I don't really like it, and it's even worse because they don't make these mono teams, like they don't make them even that good on mono teams, but because they restricted them to mono teams, there's a whole passive that could have been something different, which makes them a bad unit to use off of mono teams, but on mono teams, there's better choices, which is exactly how it looks like for this Mimosa, right? Because she's not bad, but there's not really a point to using her at this point in time, which is very unfortunate. So that's the whole point. I would like to see more buffs for mono red though, but even like we're looking at it, William mono buffer, Mimosa mono buffer. Who else was Luck a mono buffer? I don't think he was. No, he wasn't. Vanessa is gonna be a mono buffer. Zora might be a mono buffer. Asta is just good on mono. Charlotte is a mono buffer. Fauna is a mono buffer. Witch Queen's a mono buffer. So it's just too much, right? Too much, right? I don't like it. I think mono teams are fun, but you shouldn't be restricted to using mono teams all the time. They're making it to where that's kind of how it's going, and it's not like these mono units, like the units they're trying to make work on mono teams, are even becoming good. So there's that. That's like my main point for that.
They need to add a character that counters the mono meta, that gains a certain buffs based on the number of colors you have on your team.
Or
so if you have 2 colors on your team, you get
yeah,
like a specific buff. Or if you have all 3 colors on your team, you get another buff.
Or like I guess they
do
could say
something
like
that.
if fighting only one color, get like 100% damage increase, something like that. That would be kind of interesting, I think.
I always say I do like that
That'd be
idea of
very
what they're doing it,
possible.
but I
Yeah,
want to
it's
see like
cool.
more actual like team ones, like knighthood guilds, what you call them. Like imagine we get like a festival Yami, and then boom, he buffs up all Black Ball members.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Like
That would be
that's
cool.
gonna,
That would make
I
the
like
game
the
so
idea
much
where they're
more
going
diverse.
now with like the mono colors, but I hope they get a bit more creative and like start like the fact we haven't got captains that buff up the knighthood squad, like that would be sick. And there can be more synergies. Obviously, there'll be a meta thing where like everyone's using the same characters and the same teams, but
Yeah.
more team synergies would be nice.
Yeah, going into like certain like category type of buffs would be cool. Like if you're Black Bulls, or if you're a captain, or if you're a Magic Knight, or if you're part of the Midnight
Yeah,
Sun.
because you can do like Clover Kingdom stuff. You can do like arcane stage characters, like basically.
True, in the future that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, the big boys. I think that's probably the route it should go. I do know like having single characters fit any team is sometimes good, and you can still do that to be fair. But I do like when they do synergies, because like right now, mono red, I started using it, enjoying it. Now I'm thinking of actually going for a lot of red characters that I wouldn't typically go for. So it can be done right.
Okay, so we'll go into that. Season 10 units is a Rill and Noelle. Clover Academy. So very unfortunate that they're kind of spamming the same seasonal like
No, I love it.
sets over and over. I mean, honestly, the Noelle skin with her, I think that in her hand, I'm pretty sure that was Starbucks. That is going to be a cool unit. That is going to be a cool unit.
I don't think they're gonna have that again.
Yeah, I mean, it might be like coffee or some shit. I mean, listen, they added bubble tea for Ayato, so in Genshin, they could do anything. I mean, I don't know how that works, but it would be kind of cool. Maybe she'll be holding coffee, but Noelle looks pretty good. Rill, it's kind of hard to see, but he's decent. I just don't really like getting another Noelle, because we're kind of getting a Noelle every 3 seasons now. Season 2, Season 5, Season 10. And there was also a gap season, so technically it would be Season 9. So, yeah, a bit odd to me. No, Season 2, 4 or 5? No, 5. Okay. I just think that getting another Noelle in this case is not that bad, because she would probably fit a decent role. It's just that it is another blue Noelle. So it's not like the other blue Noelle is bad, which is a bit weird. Because if they're going in this mono route, it's just odd if they're going to make this Noelle blue again when the other Noelle is also blue. Which
Isn't
is
this
just
one a healer too?
Yes. Which honestly, if she's a pretty good healer, I would not mind. Which she does seem to be. We're not going to get too much
I mean,
into
it's
the
at
kiss.
least it's a different role.
Yeah. And then Rill, I'm honestly pretty excited because he's a red supporter. And he does seem to be giving damage reduction buffs on his skill 2 AoE, right? And then he also has a speed buff, right? So I think this Rill could be pretty good.
Speed.
So yeah.
Only problem I have is where's we got him in the beta, but
I was gonna say that.
True. I don't even know, because I mean,
already have a guy made.
I had this talk with one of the Arena, the old community manager, and he didn't know when was coming out. So
you know what my theory is? It was because he had Bell on it. That's why they removed it.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
because then that kind of made Bell and the Golden Dawn version. Like, oh, he's finally here. So he'll probably come in the future, but I think that's
Yeah,
probably why he
they used the animations from that for and Bell that came out. So they're probably making new animations for that But they must know that for some reason that is very hype. I don't get why they're not releasing him. At least in the little like sphere of BCM that was at that time, he was a very hype unit. And I was like, huh? Yami instead of Very unfortunate, but I think it played out decently well for them. Just would be cool to get a but I think Rill is a good choice. But do you guys think it's fine to get another Noelle that is a healer that does seem pretty good? But we don't know her
No.
passives yet. That's the problem. And if they make it restricted to mono again, I might lose I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm
So I
genuinely-
think my problem with like the way they do it, right, is they do the color spread stuff, right?
yeah.
Like from the manga. But most of the time, they're based on popularity.
Okay.
So we're gonna see a lot of patterns of
Yeah.
like the same characters again.
Yeah.
Don't mind Noelle because the outfit
Yep,
is
it's
one of the
gonna
best
be a lot of
in the color spread.
Noelles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Noelle
It's
outfit
really
was
hard
pretty
not
good.
liking it, man. But
I mean,
It's just because obviously people like Noelle. It's just the way the game structured it is you can't use multiple Noelles on a team. So it's just so stupid. To me, it's stupid as hell. I feel that
What's your
they're
game
going
mode?
it would be nice. I just
maybe yeah, in some PvE game modes that would be cool.
the two main things that for teams I hate is really just how restrictive they are with mono teams, and also just the fact that you can't use multiple units on a team. Because imagine you could use both Williams on a team, that would be pretty good.
Yes.
I think William would end up being the defender. William would be better, way better.
100%.
But it's just because of the current units on Mono Blue and how dog shit Mono Blue is, which is very funny considering how good it is on Global. It's just sad. And the main reason is because we don't have a Mario, Leona, or Asta level Fest anymore because Julius just doesn't live up to the same level, which is very funny actually. I find that insanely hilarious how people wanted Julius to kind of like leave the meta, and now that he has, I've seen so many people kind of complain about it, which I don't know. I mean, it's Julius. He's still good, but he's not like as good as before because Mario just kind of cooks him so hard. But it's whatever. So yeah, Mono Blue needs to be buffed. That's kind of the moral of the story. But when, I don't really know. I don't really know. So just to kind of end off, since we are approaching like 100 day, do you think that they're going to do anything for 100 day / do you think is half anniversary going to be? Do you think it will be catch up? Do you think it is going to somehow be Spirit Dive or whatever the first anniversary is? Because half anniversary and first anniversary is almost perfectly aligned if we're looking at it. Because half anniversary for JP came out the day Global came out. So just consider that.
I think
you
they're
know.
going towards that path.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know, Gikku, if you remember when we talked to them, they also kind of said, basically, yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we're trying to do. But they didn't say it. They didn't say it.
It was like kind of vague.
But they
but
very much hinted at it.
it would be nice. But I mean, obviously we know they're trying to catch up, but at what point we'll have to see. Hey guys, if I was right and my like schedule is like 90% right, bless. I might be a greener worker at that point, you know. But nah, I do hope that Half-Anni is what is gonna be like pretty much the 90% catch up to JP. That would be cool. So yeah, any last thoughts for you guys about anything you want to say?
So we all backing for Annie then.
Yeah.
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 See, I was gonna say Noelle, Sea Dragon's Raw, because she does use it during that fight. But now after getting this Noelle, it's
Noelle.
done. Yeah, it's not happening now.
I mean, to be
Yeah, I would've-
fair,
I
to
would've-
be
I
fair,
think Sea Dragon.
Spirit Dive.
Sea Dragon is gonna get the same treatment as like
yeah.
the Dimensional / Yami. I'm scared, man.
Oh my God, no! Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
Bro, it's nowhere here.
How do they
They
put
were getting
Dimension
a
/
lot.
on a shitty ass Yami? Oh my God. Oh my God. It's bullshit. I mean, I'll try this Yami out with Mimosa on. Wait, Blaze, do you have a Yami?
I do have Yami.
Okay. We'll try that out. We'll see how that works. But yeah, very unfortunate. So thank you guys for coming. For talking to me for almost fucking 2 hours. Jesus Christ, we had shit to say. Probably the next time we'll do this maybe is either when Gear Transcendence comes out, Witch Queen, or like after season 5. We'll see. I don't really like doing these regularly because they would be short ass episodes because there's not really much to talk about, and most of this is just us complaining about the game. So that's
Yeah, pretty
great.
much.
But yeah, but in a month from now or like 3 to 4 weeks, we'll have more than enough things to complain about. But yeah, like I honestly forgot about the advanced war game mode. So if they do bring that, where you
Yeah.
have the 3 teams for 10 waves, could be fun. Could be fun. But we'll have to see how they handle it. So thank you guys all for coming on. Their channels and everything will be linked in the description below. So go check them out. Probably in the title too. I'll have them added. So yeah, I mean, I'll see you guys soon and peace.
Uh,
Peace.
Bye.